Hey guys, Pastor Jennifer here. I just wanted to make you aware of an announcement that we made today during our Life Kids Teachers meeting in case you weren't present. If you were present, feel free to listen to this announcement again and check out the instructions as we get towards the end of this video. I promise not to take too much of your time. Anyway, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it begins with a statement that says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." I think this is a really appropriate way to start this announcement because it's important that we recognize the seasons of life that we're in. The author of Ecclesiastes then goes ahead and lists of various different things, natural breaths and cadences and pauses that come as God authors a story of life for every person. Today we get to stand at a moment where we can both celebrate and participate in one of these God-given cadences, a place where something has to end so something new can begin. Since my arrival here at Life Church, I have been able to watch Yasmin serve tirelessly in Life Kids as a woman on mission who has been there to make sure that every child feels welcomed and loved and cared for and safe so that they can learn about Jesus and his love for them. Together with Yasmin, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to dream with her, to pray for every kid and every teacher and every family that we get to minister to, and watching what God can do in a way that only he can do it to the little ones to whom Jesus said the kingdom of heaven belongs. Over the last several months, Yasmin and I have been in conversation about the season of life that she's in, as well as her family, and the season of life that Life Kids is in. Through much prayer and discussion with myself and leaders and others that she trusts, Yasmin has come to the decision to transition out of her role as a Life Kids director. This is not a decision that she has come to lightly. As I've had the opportunity to do life in this context with Yasmin, I've listened to her heart and the things that the Lord has been stirring in her about different passions and areas of ministry that she would like to pursue. And we've both recognized that the only way for her to move into a new season of ministry is to lay down her old one. There's so much to celebrate as we look at the leadership that Yasmin has provided for Life Kids over the last couple of years. As we move towards Yasmin's official end date of March 12th, we're going to talk about ways that we as leaders and families in the church can honor and celebrate the time that she has given to this ministry. Following her transition out, Yasmin will be taking a 3-month sabbatical to take some time to rest from serving, as well as to seek the Lord on behalf of her and her family as they move into this new season, and to figure out what her new role in our church family will look like. As we've discussed it so far, Yasmin is fully intending on returning to Life Kids following her sabbatical as one of our classroom teachers and all-around volunteers, which we're so excited about. But this places us in a position where we have to start looking for a new beginning. What I'm not going to do at this moment is announce our new Life Kids director. The reason being is that we don't currently have anyone in the pipeline to take the position that Yasmin is vacating. As I said at the beginning of this announcement, the writer of Ecclesiastes reminds us that for everything there is a season, that there is a time for every matter under heaven. In keeping with the church word of pace yourself for this year, I, along with the pastors, executive leaders, and overseers of the church, have been seeking the Lord about the next steps for this ministry. Moving forward, we're going to be asking everyone that is currently serving in Life Kids, and those who have yet to join the team, to examine their pace. One of the big lessons that Yasmin and I have had the privilege of learning is that the role of the Life Kids director, as it stands right now, is too big for any one person to take on alone. In our Bible reading this past week, we actually see what this looks like in an episode of Moses' life, where he has a conversation with his father-in-law, Jethro. In Exodus 18, this comes as a conversation as Moses sits before the people and is mediating all of their disputes before God, day in and day out. Jethro comes to Moses and gives him some wise advice. Starting in verse 17, he says, "This is not good. You're going to wear yourself out and the people too. This job is too heavy a burden for you to handle all by yourself. Now listen to me and let me give you a word of advice, and may God be with you." He tells Moses then to take men who are honorable and have them be in charge of smaller groups, that they could mediate the smaller disputes and only bring the big stuff to him. He tells them to appoint them as leaders, and then starting in verse 22, it says, "They will help you carry the load, making the task easier for you. If you follow this advice, and if God commands you to do so, then you will be able to endure the pressures, and all the people will go home in peace." Because we are people of the word, we are going to take Jethro's advice as well. I'm going to ask each of you to examine your pace and determine that if you are one of the people who can help carry the load that is Life Kids. For some of you listening to me talk, you know that this is not your season to take anything else on, to add anything else to your plate or your life. If that is the case, we fully support the season of life that you're in and ask that you respect the boundaries of your time and your reality and your family. What I do ask for those of you that are not in the season to step up into a new leadership role is to continue to serve your students well, to show up on time, to be prepared for every Sunday that you're scheduled to teach, and to really love on these kids the way you have been. We so appreciate you. For others of you, you're hearing me talk and you're knowing that this is the Lord calling you to step up into a new season of leadership in Life Kids. For some of you, this may include coming in to help prep crafts or showing up early on Sunday to make sure that each classroom has their supplies. Yasmin and I are currently itemizing all of the moving pieces of her role so that we have a good sense of what needs to be covered. I'm asking that all of you take some time over the next week or so and do the following. Firstly, pray. Ask the Lord what your pace is for the season. Listen for his answer and respond appropriately. If the Lord is telling you that you are to be one of the people, to be part of the team that's going to help with this transition, please talk to myself or to Yasmin, and we will work with you to connect you to where you would fit best in this transitional team. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is to pray. Pray for Yasmin and her family as they move into a new season. Change isn't easy, but when God is in it, it's right. And finally, pray. Pray for the kids and the families that we serve. We trust that God will provide a children's pastor in the right time and in the right season. But from this point, we are continuing to commit to serve these little ones faithfully. So that's it. That's our big announcement. Thanks for watching the 7 minutes or so that I've been talking. It's really important that we're all on the same page and that we're walking in unity. So I'm really excited to see what the Lord continues to do in the lives of each of you and the lives of our Life Kids this year. We have so much to celebrate, so much to give thanks for what God did in 2016 in salvations and baptisms among our youngest members of our church. And so I'm just really excited to see what God does next. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me or call me or text me or whatever, and I'll be glad to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you or chat with you whenever, to see how we can best serve the kids of our church. Thank you again. We appreciate each and every one of you and your heart to serve, and we look forward to partnering with you for the rest of 2017. Have a great week, and I'll see you around. Bye.